Hey, PJNet Live Part 2 with Del Didway, who is standing by in our green room, and our chat room is awaiting. We have bumper rolling, background installed, cameras aimed, and we are recording and streaming. We switch to Studio 6 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, welcome back to PJNet Live Part 2. It is Tuesday night. It is, 9:31. But I said we'd be a little late because we went a little late with Jake McCandless earlier. And, boy, that was good. Thank you again, Becky Lindsay, for making the arrangements to have him join us. We have a lot of folks in our chat room who are no doubt waiting to hear me talk. But I'm sorry to disappoint you. Instead of me talking, we are going to bring you Del Didway, who we do this every week, but he never disappoints. We always start with his blog, Today, Life and Death. Both topics very certain.
Yeah, and Jake did a good job. That was a good show. I was able to catch some of it, so it was good. Jake's a good guy.
Your father was a good guy.
Oh yeah, Dad was a great guy. And so, when we talked about, some of the memories in my post, because, 23 years ago he passed. And, I tried to tie in the, my wife and I had a decision to make because he passed, and we, we're going to go to the Right to Life March. And it's not being selfish or anything like that, or being cold. We had an investment in that, and he died, and then the funeral was going to be for like 4 days. So I talked to Mom. She says go. He would want you to go. So we did. We jumped on the bus like the next day, and made the jaunt to DC and did our march and came back for the funeral. So yeah, it was celebrating his death, I guess, or his life, by going and letting our voice be heard, that we love life, and we protect life, and we honor life, and we are pro-life, both from the unborn to those who might face euthanasia later. So yeah, so we're very pro-life. So we try to make that statement on that. So that was what we did. We celebrated his life and death by going to the March for Life. So that's what we did.
I see from the chat room, actually a lot of the PJNet family is going to various venues in the March for Life. I know that Becky Lindsay was absolutely unable to be. I know she would have been here under any other circumstances. And I see that Renee Kennedy is going to the march, and
that's awesome.
I'm probably leaving some folks out.
We've been there a lot of times. Yeah, we've been there several times. So,
Dale, you said your father passed 23 years ago. How hard was it to write that blog today?
It was parts of it was hard. It was 23 years ago, so you still hadn't forgot about it, but it wasn't as hard as it would have been, a few days afterwards. But yeah, it was difficult, and so it was difficult. It was more fun because I got to tell some good stories in there about when we both got knocked down by Gary Reasons of the Giants, and that was a fun time. We just couldn't get out of the way. I mean, nobody could, and he's a big guy, and back then we used to be able to go down on the sidelines and watch the fourth quarter. And it was always fun, and until we got a little closer to the action. So, and then back then I used to be able to take my dad to places like that and get him in, and I'd call him, get a credential, and say, "Oh yeah, can you throw in another one?" "Oh sure." And you can't do that now. Oh my gosh, no! It's under high scrutiny. So, and took him into.
I'm surprised they let you in.
Yeah, I took him down to some of the Reds games, and we sat and talked to Earl Hershiser. It was just us three. It was so neat because he was singing, talking about some of the hymns he used to sing, and we just started talking. I mean, all just us three, and they had to come and yell for him, say, "Hey, the bus is leaving." and he's like, "Oh, I got to go." So it was really funny because obviously he's a Hall of Famer, superstar player, great guy. So, but we spent like 15 minutes just chatting about him singing hymns because he was trying to calm down during the World Series. So that's a good memory and a fun experience that I got to share with me.
Dale, I'm kind of watching some of your posts on social media, and it seems like there's this cadence of posts coming out. Just wrote a new chapter, and you got a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, just trying to, shameless promotions. It's not for a year or so away, but I'm just, you always keep it on top of mind. Plus, it's letting folks know about, yeah, oh yeah, I got devotions. Yeah, I got to get that. Or I'm just saying, hey, this is who I interviewed for volume 2 because I have to turn that in like a month. So we're almost done with it. We're going to get it in on time. But it's just fun. That I want to post some more here the next couple of days. It just I wrote a post about Adam Simber of the Indians. I did some more last week. So it's just fun keeping people at the top of the mind that oh yeah, I got to get this coming out. It's a year away, but that'll be here before you know it. In about 6 months, they'll be able to pre-order. So just always keeping them top of mind. Um, you know, so people see it and just won't forget it.
We've got plenty of time, but I also saw a post that you have some announcement that you are making. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to save that for the end, or if I don't know how long it's going to take to set the story up.
No,
Because I
it
haven't
won't
heard.
take that long. It's just yeah, it's. I mean, to me, it's big. A lot of folks may just say, "Oh, well, whoopee." So, was on the phone this week with my agent Kyle Young, who's an agent for Heartline Literary Agency. He also has Kyle Young Literary Elite Agency, which he's over, CYLE for Kyle. So, Kyle, we talked about this several months ago and even about a year ago. But he called me this week and said, "Hey, I'd like for you to be an agent for me, be a literary agent under Kyle Young Literary Elite Agency." So, we have agreed to do that. I'm not ready to take submissions yet. It's a long way to go. We got to talk about my lucrative salary and my what days I'll be borrowing the company jet. So we got to get those circumstances down. No, I'm totally kidding. We have to talk about what genre I'll be accepting and who I'll be accepting and things like that. So not yet ready to take submissions, and we're probably within the next few weeks we'll be at that stage. But we're excited. It's another ball to juggle. It gives me like 33 right now, and it's going to be fun. I think it's something that interests me because I enjoy meeting people and inviting them to come to the conferences. And I've been able to just say, well, with you and then some others, hey, you need to come to these conferences. And up at the Ohio conference, we invited several people who came, and we invited some folks out of North Carolina last year. A lady I met on Twitter, and I knew she was in North Carolina, so I sent her a message. Hey, you want to come to this? By golly, she showed up. And so just things like that. And she's doing great. We stay in contact all the time. She's fantastic. Posts a lot of pro-life things. So but she came, and some folks came to the Ohio conference, and Kyle's like, you just have a way of reaching out to people. And now, they'll be reaching out to me.
Yeah, I was going to
Hopefully
say
I'll
this is a real turn of the tables because Dale, you're quite the sales engineer. You're a closer. So a sales pitch when you hear one, right? So how's that going to help you?
I think so. I don't know yet. I haven't got that far. So I just know what I'll have to take a look at what Kyle expects of me and how he wants me to proceed and what submissions I'll be taking. So that's a few weeks down the road. And I don't want any canned pitches. I don't think like that. But I just want somebody to be honest with me and like I present to me like I presented, and I just presented like I presented to publishers. In fact, I'm going to present a book to an editor and publisher down at the North Carolina conference. I still pitch books, so I'll be pitching a book. And the whole thing that I want to hear is why this is going to be good. Why should I do this? Why should I represent this book? Why is it going to matter? What's this book going to matter? And that's what I want to hear. I'm looking for. I'll be looking for, even though I haven't discussed this with Kyle yet, but I'll be looking for confidence. I'll be looking for a little bit of swagger. I'll be looking for a little bit of, you need this. You need to represent me because somebody else is going to, and it might as well be you. And that's the kind of attitude I like. I like things to be backed up I like talk to be backed up.
There you
go. Yeah, that's why I always liked Larry Bird, because Bird was a trash talker. By golly, he backed up his trash talking. So I always liked that. So something I talk sports. Something I'm a little bit irritated today in the world of sports. I'm very. It was no surprise that Derek Jeter was elected to the Hall of Fame today. I think he's one of the greatest players ever. But there was one voter, one sports writer did not vote for him to be elected. So I said this weeks ago, he should be the first unanimous player inducted to the Hall of Fame. It should, bar none, hands down, should be unanimous. But one writer didn't agree with that. So he got all votes except one. I want to know who that one writer was, because that person shouldn't be covering sports, let alone voting for the Hall of Fame. They shouldn't be even allowed to go to a game if you can't vote for him. And I know some of these old guys talk about, well, nobody should ever get a unanimous ballot. And it's more of a rites of passage thing to some of these writers. Like, they are above the game. They decide. They never played it, but they write about it. They decide who goes in the Hall of Fame. And so that just irritates me. He should have been the first unanimous Hall of Fame inductee, but he was shy by one vote. One vote.
Before it scrolls off the screen, there's something in the chat that I just feel like you got to know.
Okay.
Becky Lindsay says this. Dell and I met on Twitter like 4 years ago. Interestingly, I met Coach around the same time on Twitter. I finally got to meet Dell and his wife Angie a few years later at a conference. There's so much in the chat, folks. What I can't keep up with it because there's getting to be so much of it during the program. But I assure you, afterwards, one of the first things I do is scroll back, and I thank you all for your comments. And I've got to figure out a way to alert me that there's a question in the chat for whoever we have on the program. I've tried a couple of ideas that didn't work out very well. But, and that made me completely think of what I was going to ask you next. Very soon around I remember now, it's okay.
Okay.
Dell, there's two things about getting old, and one of them is your memory will begin to fail you.
I can't remember the other one.
Did I say there was another one?
Yes.
The Tim Tebows Foundation has an event not too far around the corner. This will not be your first time for that either.
No, that's coming. We'll be going tomorrow night to. You have to have these mandatory meetings where you have to go, or else you can't volunteer. So tomorrow night's the last one. So we'll be going, making the drive to this church to, they go over what's expected of you. So you have to attend these meetings. It's February the 7th, so it's coming up right around the corner. And we're excited about it. Obviously, we were very blessed last year to go and do our part and make these wonderful people feel special. And so I'll be doing the same gig. I'll be shining shoes. And I really enjoyed it.
It's a night to shine. Yeah.
It's a night to shine. So the guys, I shined a few ladies brought their shoes in to shine. So it was a fun event. Who knows? I mean, there's a very small chance Tim will show up. We won't know till that day where he'll be. So we met him. I personally invited Tim when we were.
Oh well, then that's a done deal.
I know. Yeah. I kind of laughed with him. I said, why don't you come to Huntington, West Virginia? And I'm sure he's long forgotten that. But I did give him my plug to come to the event. I'm sure that's long gone from his memory. But anyway, they will find out till that day where Tim will be, because there's hundreds of these going on all across the country. and he shows up to 2 or 3 of these things. And so, the chances are very long that he'll fly into Huntington, West Virginia, but you never know.
Well, Dale, I got bad news for you. I'm making plans to attend the event in Tallahassee, and I'm going to let them know that Coach Prasick is going to be there. So if there's any chance he's going to be somewhere other than that, it'll be Tallahassee. Okay, so as soon as he finds out,
you better contact those folks like tomorrow as far as volunteering, because you got to go through a background check and all this other stuff. So yeah.
It's great.
So yeah, that's coming up, and like I said, we're going up tomorrow night to the final briefing, I guess you call it, what's expected of us and how we're to be. And so I think last year they had 250 volunteers to help put this event on, and it's just a fantastic undertaking. I'm always amazed at it. So it's a fun evening.
All right, folks, I'm going to mute my mic so Dale can't hear us because I'm about to pull the pin on his grenade. So watch him detonate. Dale, I'm noticing in social media and in conversations and even in the mainstream media, the Right for Life events are getting bigger. They're getting more numerous. There was a major Second Amendment rally the other day. Momentum is building. Maybe there's some change in the wind.
I definitely do see the change in the wind. You can gauge that by how completely berserk the left is going, because they're seeing their stranglehold that they've had for decades starting to go away. President Trump has appointed in the last few years 2 pro-life justices of the Supreme Court. Probably will get a third one here pretty soon. I don't wish RPG any ill, but that time will come soon. And the Dems are already saying, well, if he's under impeachment, he shouldn't be able to appoint.
They can't make stuff up.
I said this a couple of weeks ago. I don't see the Democrat Party is gone. It's no more. It is run by crazy, lunatic, socialist mobsters who have no intention for the betterment of this nation. They want to destroy freedom. They want to take away our rights. They want to shut up Christians. They want to take away our guns. And so if you are a Democrat listening to this, you need to change parties, because the party that you once served is gone. They stand for evil. They don't stand for anything except they side with terrorists. Holy cow, we killed a guy a couple weeks ago who's killed hundreds of Americans, and the Democrats went crazy. They said, how could President Trump do this?
They're apologizing to Iran.
And what did Iran just do? They put a bounty out on President Trump today. So anyway, don't get me started on that. So if you cannot be a Democrat, I will say this: you cannot be a Democrat in today's Democrat Party and be a servant and have a servant's heart and love this nation. You just can't. There's just no way you can.
I wonder what JFK would say if he could be alive today.
He would say, this is not the party I served. This is not the party I represent. He would just be aghast at this, at some of these mobs and some of these squads that are in our House of Representatives. Right, we have 2 terrorists in our House of Representatives. They've laid this groundwork for years to get to infiltrate our government, and they have. And right now you're going to see there's talk about AOC's district being realigned and her district being taken away. That's not from the Republicans, folks. That is from the Democrat Party. Because they want her out of there because she is so far left. She is hurting that party. So Pelosi wants her gone. So they're going to redistrict her out. And then she'll find her little seat on MSNBC and things like that, because she sees this love trial. Right. But I tell you what, Coach, this cup of hot chocolate in this mug I got from Cleveland at a Funny Bone comedy club has more wits than she does.
The momentum is building, but I guess my concern is we are living in a culture so polarized politically, and in my opinion, we're in a post-truth culture spiritually. In politics, I say facts don't matter, but it seems as if the truth doesn't matter in theology. We have ordained ministers advocating homosexual marriage, not
Right.
turning their head and looking the other way, openly
Right.
advocating. Now, folks, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to read the scripture. Homosexuality
Right.
is enumerated as a sin.
Right. Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah,
It
it is. And so what you're seeing now is, President Trump was the first president to address the National March for Life. This guy is on the front lines. This guy is defending life. You're seeing a resurgence, and you're seeing more and more people come to these things and rally for the Second Amendment, for the right to life, because of. Hi, Sophie.
Hey, Sophie's
Sophie
here.
popped in. She popped in for a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, give her an earbud.
Give her mic here.
Give her
Say
the
hi.
other.
Here. There you go. Say hi, Sophie.
Now you're thinking. Sophie, it's so good to see you again. Is tomorrow school day?
Yeah.
It is? Now, what grade are you in, Sophie? I've forgotten.
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten? Are you the smartest one there?
I don't know.
Do you have a lot of friends? Do you have a lot of friends there?
Social butterfly.
Hey, Sophie, this is a hard one. Do you love your granddad?
Yeah.
All right.
Sophie, we
Tell him
love
bye.
you.
Tell him bye. You got to get going. You got to get to bed. See ya.
Hey, someone. No.
Oh, sorry. So you're seeing, to get back on topic, you're seeing that you're seeing President Trump rally the troops. In fact, I just got a text from Mike Gunadakis. He's the president of Ohio Right to Life. He wants to plan a pretty big event, and we're going to help him do that up in Columbus, Ohio. So there's a resurgence. People are taking back what's been denied them for years, and they're tired of being made fun of. They're tired of not being heard. And when we were at the inauguration 3 years ago, I'd never seen so many people in my life, and then the media said it was downplayed. The March for Life they're anticipating would be the biggest. I've been to several of those, and it is peaceful demonstrations. We run into violent protesters at these things. Mm-hmm. People protesting us, they're violently disgusting, and they're conservatives. Typically, when they protest, you don't hear a word from them. You just see them. They don't do anything crazy. But the radical leftists who want to kill unborn children are so violent and vile because they think it's their right. They can go out and kill somebody.
Sure.
And it's all education. That's all it's about. It's education. And you're going to see the left is so distraught because they're close to seeing Roe v. Wade overturned because
they see it slipping.
They've seen 8 states over the past year pass laws like the heartbeat bill, which passed the Ohio House and Senate and was signed into law. There's 8 states have done that, and so the Ohio Right to Life wants that challenged in court because the wording is such. It's similar to the partial birth abortion ban, which the Democrats even sided with that. They said, this is so disgusting, we have to ban this. So the wording in these bills are so crafted so well that the folks who pass these bills want them challenged because they think this could overturn Roe v. Wade. So the Planned Parenthoods, the Democrats, are not fighting these bills.
Oh, we're out of time again. Let me tell you a story. In my route my day job, which I still have, carries me by an abortion clinic. And most abortions are performed on Sunday, by the way. And I would see some people who would regularly gather outside on the street, not on the property, but on the street, the right of way, just praying, just standing.
Right.
And I would stop by because I'm on the clock. Right. I would stop, throw the car in park, and say, "Listen, I can only stay a minute. Let's pray." So they began calling me the drive-by prayer guy, but I hadn't seen him lately.
Right.
The abortion clinic is closed.
Yes.
And I read in a news account that this is not just an isolated incident. There's a lot of abortion clinics closing. Now, I got thinking about that and thought, well, they'll just go get an abortion somewhere else. And I thought, well, what that means is somewhere else is going to be busier. They're going to have to wait longer to get that appointment. Could save lives.
That Planned Parenthood is being defunded, and so they cannot operate. There's been 12 clinics in Ohio have been closed, and that's staggering. And so they have 3 more on their agenda to get shut down, and they probably will shut those down. And people say, well, where are they going to go? You know what? You got to educate these people. You got to love these people, and you got to. Most women who have them, after they have it, are so distraught. So it's loving them, counseling with them, and being there for them to say there's something else you can do besides kill this child. So Planned Parenthood, they prey on the vulnerable. They're like vultures.
Yeah.
They talk to women who are in an emotionally distraught case. They take them away by themselves. I mean, yeah, they have to get permission to get their ears pierced, but they can go get an abortion without parental consent. So,
yeah.
But I think that movie that was out last year, Unplanned, shined a big light. And so that shined the light. And I think when you shine a light, roaches scatter. And I think you're seeing that now. And you're seeing the Right to Life folks get a great breath of wind that they've needed. And they see, possibility, hey, this could be really happening. And something they fought for years. And your folks who want your Second Amendment folks are being energized. And who we have to thank for this is the leftist socialist mob. Mm-hmm. We have to thank them because
they pushed it too far. They pushed us too far.
And they didn't count on us fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
That takes me to one of my favorite lines that old Ronald Reagan said when they bombed, when the United States bombed Muammar Gaddafi. You remember that? Mm-hmm. I was up at college, and Reagan came on the air that night, and he said, they counted on America being passive. They counted on America being, lay down. He says, they counted wrong. And I love that. I love that from Reagan. So, that fired me up. So, again, same scenario here. The leftist socialist mob counted wrong.
You bet. Well, Dale, it's been great. I do believe the momentum is changing. I think the pendulum is now swinging the other way. And, folks, we need to just praise God and rejoice, but be humble, but remain vigilant.
And all those folks who are out there who are going to the March for Life, thank you. I've been to several. We were there, Coach, on the day that the Lewinsky scandal broke. We were there, and you could feel the tension. I mean, I still remember the headline that we picked up. It said "White House rattled" by Intern Story, and then we were talking to who's now Governor Mike DeWine. He was a Senator, Mike DeWine. Then I was talking to him before this all event. I said, leave it up to President Clinton to steal our thunder today. And I was just joking with him. And Mike DeWine gets up at the Ohio delegation rally and gets up and he says, one of the folks I was talking to said that leave it up to Clinton to steal our thunder. I thought, I said that. So anyway, but thank you to everybody who's going. Be safe, have fun, and enjoy the moment. I mean, you're there in an awesome moment to defend and let your voice be heard, that not only unborn babies, but those folks who are going to be targets of euthanasia, their voices need to be heard, and thank you for doing that.
The tip of the spear, Dale, and we have some amazing warriors among us right here on PJNet Live, and Dale, you're one of them, and I'm proud to know you. And we'll do this again next week. Dale, thanks for taking time out. Thanks for bringing Sophie on board tonight. It's always a pleasure.
She just showed up.
Cameo. All right, we'll see you next week. Appreciate it, Dale.
Thanks.
PJNet Live. Ran a little long there, but what the heck, we had time. There's a lot more I could tell you, but I have alluded to many things before. I'll quit alluding and start showing you, but I am hoping any day now, any hour now, the new PJNet.TV logo will be ready. I do plan to purchase the camera and lens that we will be using specifically at the North Carolina Christian Writers Conference, but all of them. It became evident to us that some churches at least have very low lighting. A lot of the footage that I got from the Ohio Christian Writers Conference we were unable to use. And God has just been very, very good. Folks, the momentum is gaining at PJNet Live. And I am thankful to all of you who have a part in that. If you're in this chat room, you have a part in that. If you tweet, retweet, like, share on social media, you have a part in that. There are many that you all don't know all the things that go on behind the scenes, but each of you have a part, and each of you are players on this team, and I am very honored to be a part of that. As we leave, I have a couple of questions that I would like you to ask yourself. One is, what is the boldest thing you've ever done for Jesus Christ? The second question is related. When was that? And my challenge is this: never be satisfied with either answer.